Let's go, it's the Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Whitey Show. Dead Space 2 starts off in a hospital instead of a ship, and Isaac's memory is completely wiped. Issac is the main character of the first Dead Space. He is back again. He's our favorite engineer, and somehow the coolest and most badass engineer to ever exist. The story's main idea is pretty basic. It's basically an infestation of necromorphs again, and it's taking over the whole place that Issac is in and killing everybody and transforming them into these monsters. So the story is basic, but with a better supporting cast this time, like Ellie, who is absolutely awesome, and Strauss, who's just a crazy motherfucker. It definitely more personal this time. Issac feels more humanized and definitely interesting, with the addition of the voice being a very, very good thing for the game. It makes it more, personal, like you actually care for Issac when he gets killed and not just some robot dude. So altogether, the pacing's strong, the voice acting's strong, and the dialogue is pretty par. I mean, there's some corny lines here and there, but overall it's pretty good. So overall, the story keeps up and never really lets go until the ending. The only thing I really didn't like is a lot of questions are once again left unanswered, and you keep wanting to know what the fuck is happening next. But the game leaves you off with a little cliffhanger once again. I'm personally a huge fan of the design of Dead Space. It's very futuristic. It looks very cool. The menus are 3D, so it's in-game. It's not like you actually go to a whole new thing and you don't see a character. The effects are great. The environments in this game definitely are improved from the first. Instead of just having the same old corridors throughout the whole game, we go kind of outside sometimes. We see the outside anyway. We go into space. Stuff like that you really didn't get in the first game that you get plenty of in this game. So with that, the improvement of environments, I would say the overall graphics are definitely improved. I wouldn't say it's a major overhaul, but that's because Dead Space 1 already looked really good. So they can't really improve it that much more. I believe there's absolutely no negative things in the graphics section. Everything looks top-notch. There's plenty of blood and gore. The animations are up there with the best. They're literally so awesome, especially from cutscene to right into the action. Looks excellent. Overall, there's nothing to say bad about the graphics. The only thing I could see someone saying bad if they don't like the graphical design of it, like the environments, the monsters, and so on, but you would have to be effing retarded, in my opinion, not to like these graphics. The gameplay stays largely the same from the first, and this actually works in favor of Dead Space. Basically, it's a third-person shooter. Really, there's nothing to it than that. That's what it focuses on, and it does it really well. It feels like Resident Evil series, but you can move and shoot, you can reload and shoot, reload and move, and so on. So stuff like that definitely makes it more, streamlined and helps play the game. Makes it more just fun. The flow's better. You get a bunch of new weapons in this game, and once again they bring back the RPG feature where you can use these power nodes and upgrade your weapon and, power, how much ammo it can hold, and so on. So, RPG feature is pretty cool, and it was in the first one. Basically, everything stays the same from the first. What really improves from the first is that the weapons, all of them, seem to have a use, except that pre-order one from GameStop, because that thing just sucks. But everything else in this game really seems to have its use for certain enemies in this game. Bringing to the next point, there's plenty of different enemies in this game. The first one had a good amount. This one throws all the old ones plus a slew of new ones. It's just they keep throwing them out, and that's great. And it really never gets boring because you kill all these different types of creatures. Another thing I can't get over is how much better the set pieces are in this game. I mean, they were good in the first one, but they were very minimum. In this game, maybe there's only 5 or 6, but all of them are memorable, and some are just some of the best in the fucking business. So with that, I really do encourage anybody who's like the first gameplay and or who likes third-person shooters to pick this up. It definitely has a more actiony feel, but it keeps the horror moments definitely intact. The new weapons are definitely a great addition to the game. The set pieces definitely bring up the tension in this game, and I would say that the puzzles definitely seem a lot less in this game, and that works in its favor. I didn't want as many puzzles. I think they're dumb. And in this game, they're minimal and very easy, so you won't have a problem. The only negative thing I really can think of in the gameplay is they added way too many enemies at once at the end of the game. Like, literally, you'll be in a room that's a very small room, and they'll throw like 6 or 7 enemies at once, and they will literally slaughter you in seconds. So you basically have to die, or you almost die and use up a lot of health. Then you just have to figure out a way to beat it, which will basically just use some planning. But still, throwing way too many enemies at the end of the game just seems like a cheap way out of kind of extending the game, and I can't even imagine on hard difficulties how much of a pain in the ass that must be. But besides that, the gameplay works, and it's very, very good. So overall, I really, really, really love Dead Space. I think it did so many things right. It definitely improved from its predecessor and definitely improved in every way. There was nothing that they didn't do better than they did in the first game. I would say the game length is anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, mattering what difficulty you play on. The multiplayer edition, to me, just wasn't worth it. I played with my friend. Both of us didn't like it. I'll use her exact words. It's pretty boring. It is. There's really not much substance to it. It's not really fun, and you might as well just play Left 4 Dead because it's a lot better. However, for PS3 owners that pick up the limited edition or the first edition that comes out, Extraction is on it, and it's very much worth the price. Since I got the PS3 edition, I think it's a great bonus to the game. Still, I would encourage anybody who likes survival horror or horror games or shooters to try this game out. It does so much right, and sure, even if you don't like the multiplayer, they have the new Game Plus, so when you beat the game on normal, you can go on the hard difficulties with all your guns, all your upgrades, and play it over again. Game is just too fun to skip. If you can't buy it, at least rent it. It's worth that much. It's worth the buy in my opinion, but if you can't buy it, you don't low on money, check it out and rent it because it's a damn good game and one of the best this year already. It's one of the first games this year and it's one of the best.